How's it going, everyone? Marriland here, and I'm back on the Hermitcraft Feed the Beast server. Oh yeah, playing some monster. And speaking of monster, take a look at this. I have been a busy little weasel working on this thing. So this is the base that I actually had set up. I want to have some kind of like a way station or something down here, but yeah, let me give you a grand tour, because we can't even see all of it from here. First of all, I love these. These are the fantasy block fences, and actually in order to make these, I had to use the forge micro blocks. The recipe for this is rather interesting, the fence. You actually have to get really fancy and make like pillars and then some posts, but you can make a whole bunch of different types of these fences. On top of that, I have these slabs here, which are a lot more simple, but I just love the look of this. I tried moving these fences like so they were kind of staggered. It didn't look quite as good. This actually looks fine, and I just, it's really just for aesthetics. I just like it, but yeah. I'm going to add something really cool to this, but you know what? I think I'm going to do that in the next episode, because I know how to make a really neat drawbridge-based door. And it's super cool. But yeah, this is the inside of my new home. I really kind of like it. It's very, I don't know, regal, I guess. That's a good way to put it. I'm using the quite clear glass there. This is all the fantasy blocks from Chisel, which is really neat. And you can just do so much stuff with this. Now, this took a lot of smooth stone and gold. Is it worth it? I think so. Now, up here, this is where the book is that takes me over to, well, the old base, really. I guess I don't need to go there right now. I do have an elevator here, and you might have seen those cows a moment ago. Yeah, these cows, I need them for something. I need them for Poo Power 2.0, or Poo 2, or Sweet Poo Power, as I like to call it. I just needed to put these cows somewhere, because I actually built this, and then I recorded an episode, and I realized it was just so boring, so I'm going to try it again. This is a sound muffler, by the way, and this is why you don't hear any cows, because I made one of these. You just surround a note block with some wool. It's pretty convenient. The cows can't take the elevator, so it's pretty safe there. Now, normally that elevator would actually take me like right over there. I have a second elevator set up just a little bit away in case I'm feeling too lazy for the stairs. So this is where we're going to make the magic happen. I went ahead, and that's some weird dirt there. I went ahead and tore out the thing that I'd built. I got it all tested, and it works like a charm. I love it. So I want to move it down a little bit, and I want to have it down there. But rather than just jump down there, let's just, first let's admire this view. It's very nice. I had to light everything up over there, and basically all around. I don't even know how many stacks of torches. Worth it? Yeah. So this is the basement right now, although I can have it go lower if I want, and I might even add another set of stairs going down, just to have this be sort of like a stairwell. I think it would work. But yeah, another view here, which is kind of neat, actually. I'll have to show you the outside. And down here, this is where I'm going to have kind of like a farm thing. And then I'm going to have the cows probably up above it. Although I don't really know how I want to get it set up. I moved this down more than I needed to. So I might add like a wheat farm somewhere in this later on. Because that'll really help. I can definitely do something fun with wheat. The only thing is, oh, you know what? Really quick, let me just make an infinite water source. It will just save me a little bit of time, because what I need to do is I actually need to fill in the corners here with some water. And in thinking about it, I actually want to expand it a little bit before I start. So let's just get rid of that water. What am I going to do? I'm going to make a whole ton of stuff. Now, I got most of the stuff I need in my backpack. I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm wearing this pretty cool backpack thing. This is from the, I think it's Better Storage mod. Yeah, and it's so cool. I didn't realize it was this awesome. So let me go ahead and actually set it down on the ground here. You do that by sneaking and, what is it, right-clicking? Yeah, with nothing in your hand. And that sets it down. And this is what you would normally do. You'd normally pick it up, or, you'd set it down, you craft it. It's not very expensive at all. 7 leather, a gold ingot, and some wool of any color, and that gets you one of these. So while it's here, it functions as a double chest, which is really cool. And I have pretty much everything we need for today's episode in here. But the thing that's really awesome, if you, and it even has the instructions in the tooltip, I love it. If you sneak and break it, you'll actually equip it. So I'm going to do that, and it's gone. Well, where did it go? I'm wearing it once again. And you can access this just by pressing B. I love it. It's so cool because this gives you like a whole ton of extra slots. And all you need to do is just press B instead of E. That's pretty simple. Now that's the default key. I don't know. It might be different depending on what you're playing. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, this is going to be a fun project, guys. So we should probably get started on that. Now, in order to make this, we're going to need some sewers. In fact, we're going to need everything we see in this backpack here. Well, pretty much everything. So we're going to need these reactant dynamos. This is what will make the magic happen. This, plus the sewer, plus the sugar, equals some power. Now, you might remember the sewers from my previous Poo Power episode. They're not too bad to make. You got to make some bricks, some plastic sheets, and machine frame, servo. Nothing too much, but you need a lot of them. And you could have, a radius thing, what do you call it, the upgrade that increases the radius. But that actually cuts into efficiency. You're much better off having just a lot of these. This is going to be used for the harvester in order to harvest the sugar canes, which is very important. We'll also need to pulverize them in order to turn them into sugar. Now, the reactant dynamos, these are one of the things that they aren't actually used all that often, but they're kind of interesting. They actually take 2 different inputs, and with those inputs, and you know what, I need to build this out of something. So I made these factory blocks. Let me tell you about the reactant dynamos in a second here. Let's see, I think if we had a 3-block clearance, let's see, 1... So this would be 3. If I set the cows up here, there's going to be sewers. So I might actually want to go upstairs. Okay. So, whoops, too far. All right here. So if I set it up... Oh, well, actually, this is fine. Look at all this sugar I got, by the way. I have one of these better barrels I just kind of left there. Okay, now let's get this thing going. So we need to make a thing for the cows. Now this needs to be, I think it's 7 by 7, and that'll do. So let me just double check here. Yeah, we got 7 there. So these factory blocks are really neat. They are made by using some, what actually are they made by? Oh, you have to make this one first. It's some smooth stone, and then 4 iron ingots. But that gets you 32 factory blocks. So that's not too bad. I just like them because they have a funny sound. Even when you walk on them, they sound funny. I don't know if this is going to really match the style for this. But at the same time, I just want something to kind of spruce this up a bit. Now, I could actually change it to this one, the shiny metal. It looks pretty cool. I could do that. And like this blue one, if I wanted something just a little nicer, but I don't really know. I don't know. Now, it should be safe even though it's dark out. I don't really know. My big concern would be like a creeper jumping in or something. Here, let me show you this, just by comparison. See, I mean, this is kind of neat. I don't really know if that fits this theme better or worse, but oh well. I just want to use this for right now. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go with how I had it. I think if we do it that way... Oops, I don't need to be in my backpack. I need to be in my chisel. I think if we do it that way, it will work out just fine. So, let's see. I guess we needed that, something like that. All right, now, let's make a little 7 by 7 thing here. Actually, I I think we want to raise it up one, because one thing to keep in mind is we're going to have a layer of fluid ducts beneath the sewers. So if we put the sewers right here, and we only need the inner 5x5, so I'm going to go in here and let's just set these up. Actually, what we should do first and foremost, let me get the fluid ducts down. This actually just speeds it up a little bit, I think. So we now have a 5x5 here, other than this thing. Derp. Alright, so we'll lay down a layer of these fluid ducts in a 5x5 kind of style. And then we're going to put the sewers on top of them. All 25 of them. Hopefully I still got 25. Alright, this is going to take a little bit. Unfortunately, they don't stack for whatever reason. It's kind of weird because you even craft them stacked, but they just don't seem to stay stacked. So go figure. That might be because I think I don't know, maybe they don't keep sewage or something inside, but they get kind of weird. It's not too much of a problem. Alright, so let's lay all these things down. Almost done here. And then all this sewage is going to pop up. Now we don't need to have the pneumatic servos for these. We do need some, if I recall correctly. And now even as I walk across it, there will generate some sewage. I know, it's kind of gross. Alright, let's see. So we got that. All these are down here. Now we're going to want to have these feed into a set of dynamos. And there are several ways we can do that, but we also need to make sure that we have some room for the cows. So, in fact, let me actually just go ahead and knock all these down. I'll just pillar up with like some dirt or something. We're going to have the sugarcane grow beneath this, although you can pretty much do it in whatever arrangement you want. Like, you don't have to follow this precisely because it's rather flexible. You just need to have the sewers and something to contain it. And you can expand it, but you're going to need a lot more cows. Like, I don't recommend going too much bigger than this. This isn't really a super efficient power source. It's totally renewable. But, you know, if you really are looking for efficiency, just go like, just jump like that. No, if you're really looking for efficiency, just, I don't know, do that whole lava pumping thing. I'm not really a big fan of doing that, to be honest. But that's just me. Okay, now we're going to surround this with a set of this. Now this is actually going to go up another level here. And we actually don't really need the cows in a proper 7x7. What we do need is to encase them. Now also you need to make sure you have a chunk loader for this, because if you don't, the cows get kind of glitchy. They'll like hop through walls and stuff. I had them running all over the place. So that's kind of crazy here. Now I need to get my quite clear glass, which is indeed quite clear. So you don't actually need this. I just like to give the cows some kind of a view. I'll probably pretty up this middle layer too. I just wanted to see how it fits in here. I don't know if you need a 2 high or a 3 high. I think I upped it to 3 high, but that was just because I was freaked out because, you know what, it was not working right. So, because I forgot my chunk loader. And I have that set up like right over there. And it's just kind of neat. I don't need to explain how to make a chunk loader, guys. I think I already covered that in the, well, it was a long time ago, but nothing's changed. Okay, now let's have that be the trim, and let's just mix it up a little bit by kind of doing one of these numbers. Now I'm going to need to put the cows in here too, so I don't want to, I don't really want to have to do too much after this point. There are a few ways to get them in using the golden lasso. That's this thing, also from Extra Utilities. Super useful. It, in fact, here, let me even show you really quick. So, remember all those cows that I put over here? Well, you can right-click with this on any peaceful mob, any mob that isn't going to, oh, wait, what happened? There we go. Any mob that is like a peaceful, passive mob that's not going to attack you. And then it puts it in here, which is super cool. It's sort of like one of those safari nets, except it's, it only works for peaceful mobs or passive mobs. So it's kind of balanced. You don't get like everything with this, but it's also much cheaper to make. You don't have to worry about like gas tiers and stuff, because, you know, those are kind of a pain to get. Let's see. Speaking of pain to get, these things, I have them trapped in there just for right now. I didn't want them to go too far. I just wanted it to be easy to get them back in. All right, you. Let's do this. You know what? I'm going to just get all these cows back in there, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, all the cows are back in here now. So I'm going to seal this up. I don't think we'll need to get back in there for any reason. Hopefully not. Alright, so we got the cows captured, and they're all set there. So, we now need to put in the thing that's actually going to generate the power. Now, we also want to make sure that we can access this power relatively easily. So, wherever we decide to put the dynamos, we want to make sure that, you know, it's rather convenient. So I think I might put it over on this side. So that way when I walk in here, rather than being assaulted with all sorts of cords and stuff, or I could just have the thing there. I'll just have it off to the side. So if I want it, I can just walk in the middle there. And then also down here, I don't know how it'll look down here because it's actually all up there. So probably drop a power line or something down there. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go and set these up over here. So, let me actually put some of these bricks away. I don't need them at the moment. So we need some energy conduits. I'm just using the hardened ones. Obviously, I'll upgrade this once I have a need for it. These can only transfer 400 RF per tick. However, I think this this setup here actually generates a lot more. I think it generates up to 720 per tick. So that's definitely something to consider because each of these generates 80 RF per tick. And since I've got 8 of them, that's pretty good. So, or maybe it's 640. Let's see. Wait, 8 and 80. Yeah, it's 640. I'm sorry. If I had 9, it'd be 720. Okay, so we're back with some more progress now. I went ahead and made some more item ducts. And I think I hooked everything up now. So how this is going to work, the harvester actually sends the items out into a pulverizer. I have this pulverizer set up like this. So the orange is on the top, the blue is on the bottom, and then everything else is sealed off. That means it'll output the items up to the top. Now before we do anything else, right at this spot here where that little red arrow is, and remember you can right click it with the crescent hammer to change it. You want to right-click this spot here and change it to round robin mode. You can only do this right by that red arrow because otherwise you will only have access to the other two, which are very handy. But in fact, this is basically how it works, okay? So when you have it as round robin, rather than just sending all of the items to the first one that it notices, it will evenly distribute this to anything with a blue arrow. So in this case, all of the sugar that gets pulverized from the sugarcane should all go more or less uniformly into all of these different reactant dynamos. That's really handy. Now, if you wanted to shift some weight somewhere, you could right-click it twice until you have a green one here. Now, when something is set to vacuum, that means that when it's traversing the path here, it will always try to find anything with a vacuum first, so it'll send items there. Not quite as useful if you're doing round robin, but still pretty handy. You can also change something to dense, which means it'll only go here if it has nowhere else to go. So if I only wanted this one to be used as a last resort, I could turn on dense mode for it, and it'll send it there later on. This can be very useful for storage overflow things. For instance, that's why I have this barrel here. I'm going to hook this up to the thing. I don't know where. I'll probably put it on the end. But you see, I'll put dents behind it. So only after all of these are full will anything end up in this barrel, which is very handy. Okay, so what is missing here? Well, we need something to grow. That is what we need, and that is what we're going to work on. And you know what? I totally forgot my hoe. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my hoe, and how this is going to work is we're actually going to do something kind of fun. We want a tank and a sprinkler. We're also going to need an aqueous accumulator underneath it. And gosh darn it, I forgot fluid ducts, although I don't think I actually need them for this. So beneath the grass here, I need to set up 2 water sources. And these are going to be where the aqueous accumulator is going to get its water. Now you don't hear the sound because I have the sound muffler there, and it's doing a pretty darn good job. Okay, so let me put a bucket of water right down there, and then we're going to put another one over on the other side here to turn it into 2 source blocks. Well, really 3. Now we'll take the aqueous accumulator, just put it right there, and it'll pull in some water. And yeah, that's great. So we're actually going to put this tank thing from Open Blocks on top of it. What is this and how do you make it? Well, just some obsidian and some glass panes. That's it. And it stores liquid. Very neat. I think it can fill from any different side. I don't know exactly how you extract from it. But the thing that's really handy is you want the sprinkler. This is made by taking some iron ingots, iron bars, and then a redstone torch. And it needs to be placed on top of a tank, but if it is, it will spray some water. And this actually increases the growth rate of your plants nearby, which is awesome. You can also put bone meal in there if you really feel like speeding things up. And it covers a pretty decent range, too. So, let's see. Yeah, I think it's 9 by 9. Looks it. I don't know if it's just watering the grass, though. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that that actually will count as the water source block, but I'm not 100% sure. We're going to do something a little different here. We're actually going to use Industrial Craft 2 crops. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of Industrial Craft as of the more recent versions. I think it's just a lot more grind heavy. And it's not the Industrial Craft that I remember back in the day. That was a lot more fun. Now it's just, hammers and just, to each his or her own. But for me, I just am not a fan of it. However, Industrial Craft crops are really handy. Even if you don't get into the breeding mechanic, if you use these things, which are really simple to make, they're just, I don't know why there's a helmet there. Just 4 sticks in a pattern like that, and that gets you 2 of these crop things. So before you plant these crops, you want to make sure that you have all the sugar cane that you need. Because if you don't tend to these crops, guess what? You're going to run into weeds. Yeah, weeds are going to grow on them, and they're just kind of a pain. In fact, if you remember my old Feed the Beast Ultimate series, way, way back, I messed around with these things, and I thought they were cool. But, also if you right-click it twice, it, crosses another one over it. That just indicates you're kind of getting ready to make hybrid plants, and there's I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some stuff you can do with these. Crops, sort of like bees and magic crops, except, I guess more like bees, where, you have hybrids and stuff. Even though it's not related to forestry at all, I don't know. It's not the greatest in the world. It's overshadowed by pretty much everything else in Industrial Craft, but it's still kind of neat. And what's nice about these crops is you can actually place sugarcane right next to each other. Yeah, I know, it's awesome. I love it just for that, I tell you. So, on top of that, not only can you place sugarcane next to other sugarcane, you can also just leave it here. you don't have to worry about replanting this ever. Ever. It's amazing. Now I have a few of these seed bags. I guess like when you break it, you sometimes pick these up instead. I had to relocate all of these. I'm going to have to make more, but this will do for at least right now. I have enough sugar to get started. So these grow on their own, and they automatically replant, which is really cool. Normally, you'd need to have a planter underneath, like right here, where this is. You need to have a planter down there in order to replant the seeds, or in this case, the sugar cane that you get, or something like that. Actually, I think the harvester doesn't really matter for sugar cane specifically. I think it just takes the top layer. Another thing we're going to need to do with this harvester, we need to put in this tin upgrade. I don't know if you remember me talking about that, but that increases the range that it can seek. By default, a block like this from Mine Factory Reloaded will only look at the 3x3 in front of it. Or in the case of a planter, the 3x3 like on top of it. So all of this stuff here. I'm not using a planter though, but to increase this range, you need to make these upgrade things. And they're made by just putting some sort of material up top, then some raw plastic, and redstone and a gold nugget, and you're good to go. The better the material, the wider the range. So that's really handy. And it does work on a variety of things, too. The harvester works on, like, trees and stuff. It works on crops, which is just amazing. That makes farming all the sugarcane a breeze. Let's see. I'm just going to set this here for now. I'll get it all figured out. It's going to make more sugar than I know what to do with, though. Look at all this. That's really nothing. Okay, so we have the harvester going. The only thing this system really needs right now is power, right? I mean, you can look at all this stuff. And I guess it doesn't need a pneumatic servo right now. If you were to do something else, and I'll tell you about my plans for this power supply in the future. Well, actually, a little later in this episode, hopefully. In fact, I'll tell you right now, I want to add wheat to it. Because between wheat and the sugar and the cows, and if I threw some chickens in there, I could actually make cakes. And with cakes, there's a really cool thing called a culinary generator. And this is going to generate a lot of power. It generates a lot. I think 192,000 RF per cake at 240 per tick. It's pretty crazy. So I'll do that later. I don't really need that much power right now. I don't even have that much power usage. But once I upgrade, I'll do it to that because I think cake power will be really funny. And I'm not even lying about that, guys. Okay, so we need just some sugar here, and actually I think it should be good to go because the cows, as you can see, they're producing a lot of sewage. This isn't that cheaty sewage from the Poo Power video. This is, this is going where it's supposed to. The Reactant Dynamo actually takes a variety of different things, strange things. It needs a liquid and a solid. The solid will go here, and the liquid goes here. And it takes stuff like, I don't even know what, I think nether stars. That's a terrible idea. You're better off putting it in a nether generator. What else? Sugar. Well, it needs sugar for the one thing. And basically, the two parts of it just help determine how long each lasts. You don't get any more power total. It's still going to be 80 RF per tick, regardless of what you put in there. It's just a matter of how quickly can you farm whatever it is you need. So that's why I'm going with the cheapest stuff possible, sewage and sugar. Even though it burns through it like crazy, guess what? I generate it like crazy. Okay, so this is going to harvest fairly soon, and that's going to be awesome. It doesn't have any power, though, so we're not going to be able to see it until we slap some sugar in there. So what do you think? Do you think we should put some sugar in? That's what I think. Let me put away some of this junk for right now. Oops, we'll just put some sugar in to give it a little kickstart. And then the dynamos should begin doing their thing. Alright, so it's now generating RF, that's for sure. So put a little in there, put a little in there. And I put up a, whatchamacallit. Wow, I guess I could have put a full stack in each of these. Jeez. I didn't remember how much I had. What was I about to say? Yeah, so this cell thing up there, it was empty when I started. Look, it's generating really fast. Already more than 10% full on this energy cell. So it is absolutely taking the full, the full, what is it? No, not 640, 400 right now. Because this thing can only take 400 RF per tick. And these hardened energy conduits can only send and receive 400 per tick. But like at this point in the game, that's fine. I'll be able to expand this right away. Now we should see this chop all this stuff down. And that's going to be awesome. And then it'll go through and pulverize it all. Because part of what makes this work is you want to pulverize the sugar. Because if you take sugar, or sugar cane, actually let's just do sugar here. Sure, you can actually just craft it into sugar. I think we all know that. But if you spend 800 RF in a pulverizer, you get 2 sugar for that. But on top of that, it's automated, which is great. Because you need the sugar in order to send it into this reactant dynamo. Now, we don't have any going in there just yet, but once we do, I mean, we have sugar in there, but it's sugar that I took, which is, you know, I mean, it's fine. I did this earlier, but as you can see, sewage is totally keeping up. I mean, all those cows in there. Oh, wait, what's going on with this one? Actually, what is going on? Oh, well, that's what. Hey. All right, look at how fast it fills up. Now we're going to be generating more. Although this really doesn't matter because, again, it's not even receiving that power because I need more. I need a stronger power supply. But seriously, this goes just fine for right now. Yeah. So, let's see. I really want to see this chop it all down. Because that's going to make it fun. Oh, look, there it goes. It's full over here. These two are going to get chopped. And boom. So, sends them over to the pulverizer. They're getting pulverized into sugarcane and then are being sent through this little item duct into the reactant dynamos. Now, this says 0 out of 40,000 because it actually has an internal storage. It's just sending all of its power to the conduit. Now it's all set, so these things are going to accumulate power on their own. And basically I'll have a big buffer as well, like 800,000. It's kind of crazy. Or wait, not 800,000, right? 40,000? Oh, not quite, not quite. Like, I don't know, 320,000 or something. Pretty good, not too shabby, you know. And it's just going to pulverize all the sugar. Now, this actually goes really fast. So what I ended up doing was taking this thing. Oops. Oh, you also really want to be careful not to jump on any of these crops because it will break them. I'll probably put a ladder or something going up there. Now, I have this better barrel thing. And you know what? I actually will be right back. I got to get something before we can do anything with that. Okay, I'm back here, and I brought 2 things that can actually help with this. The thing that you're probably most likely to use is this diamond dolly thing. In fact, I actually don't think you need the diamond one. I think a normal one will get the job done. What this does is this lets you pick up things like chests and barrels, and I think the diamond dolly even lets you pick up like spawners and things, which is pretty neat. Now, while you're carrying it, you have like slowness and mining fatigue. But you do get to relocate it wherever you want. Now there's another thing here that's called the block mover, and you make that by making 2 ender pearls up top and then 3 obsidian. So that does save on diamonds. I'm not entirely sure it works with this, so we're going to find out. No, actually it doesn't seem to... Oh, there we go. Alright, so you have to hold shift and then right click it. And you can just relocate it where you want. Plus it has a funny sound. Alright, so whichever one you want to do, totally your call. I'm going to go with this block mover thing. It's actually D-Mac who showed me about that, and I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. So we're just going to put this somewhere like relatively out of the way. I don't really need this sugar for anything. At least just yet. I'm going to put it right here for now. And then, let's see. Actually, I want to... Whoa. Just put that back. I love that sound. It's just so funny. I'm going to have it just pipe over one more. Because remember, we want to put the dense thing on it. So that way, stuff isn't going to wind up there too soon. There we go. Okay, so this will be the last place it tries to go. In fact, at this time, this is actually a really interesting barrel. So I don't have anything to really show you how it works, but if you look at the big block of text there that says better barrel, structural level 2, upgrade slots 1 out of 3. And then a whole bunch of stuff there. If you have something like, well, here, let me just go to the Jabba mod. Just a better barrel add-on, something like that. I don't know. Basically, you first have to make this better barrel. I think I already showed that. Pretty simple. But then you have to upgrade it. You actually have to add things that basically give it like add-ons and structures and stuff like that. So in this case, see, this says like slots provided and slots, well, actually it's like structural MK and all that jazz. So you'd first want to go ahead and make this, which isn't too bad. This is for the level 1, and that gets you 1 slot. So if you look at these upgrades here, like I could put a storage upgrade there, and that would increase the storage capacity by 64 stacks. So I mean, that's not too bad. It's a cheaper alternative than making another better barrel. But the one that I'm really interested in here is the B space. No, that's not it. Where is it? The void one. That's right. I wonder what this is for. I don't know too much about this mod. I'm more looking forward to getting into applied energistics. Aren't we all, right? But this void upgrade, this is really kind of handy. It takes some pistons and obsidian there, and it also takes 2 slots used. So I don't know if you can make 2 of these or what. I don't know how that works. Because this is 127, maybe. I don't really know. But basically, I had to make this, and then I had to make this. And I think you shift and right-click when you're looking at the barrel, and it adds it to it. So this is actually a void barrel right now. Anything past the 64 stacks will just be voided. And I could go ahead and make another storage upgrade here if I wanted, but that gets kind of expensive. A lot of these actually get really expensive. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But as you can see, we are generating just a ton of power for this stage in the game. It's not too bad at all. Plus, it's fun. You know what? Let's just face it. We all could just make like magmatic dynamos, but I'm literally powering my base off of sugar and poo. I know. How great is that? See, this is totally full. And now I can just do whatever I want with it. So I'm probably going to have this, I don't know, piped up. Maybe have some more energy cells. I think I got 4. I'm going to upgrade them all to the better ones later. But as you can see, there's lots of power. I also want to tidy this up. This middle floor, I did it again, darn it. This middle floor, I actually didn't know I'd have room for a middle floor. So I might be able to kind of hide something up there. I don't know what, but something. Because I think that's like right down here. There's enough room for, well, cows. Well, that's not too bad. You know, maybe hide like a machine or something down here. Hide all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so you know what? Before I end this off, I want to just give one more look at my base from the outside. Because I just love the look of this thing. Oh man, it took so long to get all this kind of set, but I'm so happy with it. So this bridge is so neat. I really like it. Woo! Okay, so from the side, see, it looks nice, the bridge there. I really like those pillars. There's just something about it that just, It looks so, like, regal. It's even better than I thought. And then, look at this on the side. I really love how those two windows on the different layers, how that looks. And see, there's almost like that third layer there. It's really well spaced. I didn't even plan that. I could add a third layer just all together. I don't know how I get there. Maybe a different set of stairs or something. And then here it is on this side. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I love these mountains still. Part of me is thinking, actually, I think it was D-Mac who said I should have a bridge from there all the way across to that mountain. And that would be pretty sweet. Maybe set some other kind of stuff up there. And I still have this kind of hill thing I could put something on. I don't know what I want to do to that yet, but I'm just loving this. It's so great. Whoa, leg pocket. All right. And everything around here should be lit up like crazy. I think I burned through about 20 stacks of torches. Ooh, let's not fall again. Oh, I love this. Okay, so the only problem is I don't have a quick way up. I think I'm going to dig into the side and just have like an elevator block or something to take me up, because this is really the only way up other than jumping up the hills. All right, let's just climb here. Oh, you know what? There's something I totally forgot to mention earlier. I'm so scatterbrained. So these pendants, right? I made these, I think, in the last episode, and they were already nerfed. Well, not really nerfed, but, well, I guess a little bit. So instead of offering the level 2 enchantment for the first tier, just the normal pendant one, and then the level 4 enchantment for the enhanced pendant, it's now 1 and 3, respectively. That's fair. I think 4 was pretty broken. On top of that, the recipes have changed. This one is now pretty expensive. It needs a diamond. I don't know if it needed that before, but, oh, man, if you go with the enhanced one, you need gas tears and Eye of Ender, and, yeah. It's not terrible. Like, I mean, that stuff isn't the end of the world. It's not crazy bad or anything. It's just not quite as cheap as it was before. I'm certainly not opposed to that. And I just love the effects it gives. Night vision, speed, haste, saturation, basically anything you want. I love it. It's so good. They also made these things, let's see, what is it? It's Geostrata. Where is it? So, super expensive to make, but these... Oh, actually, I don't think we have it here. They might be disabled. This thing. I know it says unnamed, but it's like a dimensional thing. It speeds up stuff. Speeds up ticks and things. Not like the bugs, but I don't know. It's interesting, but it's oftentimes disabled because it's pretty crazy. Yeah, well, this is indeed the Poo Power 2.0. I have it kind of hidden over here. I'll figure out what to do with it, but as you can see, it works, and it works pretty darn well at this point in the game. So much more fun than, you know, magma power or even oil or something. It's neat. Or like a tree farm. I always do tree farms. They're so easy. And this is really easy, too. It's not really tough at all. In fact, it's arguably easier than a tree farm just because, I mean, you know, it's sticks, sugar cane, like fluiducts. Sewers, that's probably the only pain to make. Really, everything else is super easy. And it's just fun. Powering your base off of sugar and poo. It's just awesome. I mean, really, think about it. That's so great. Anyway, I think that's probably a good spot to leave this off. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, let me get one more little view over here. Let's stand over here, man. I'm saying goodbye. Oh yeah. Backpacks are so cool. The only thing with the backpacks, though, right before I started recording, I had to jump in some lava just to get rid of some stuff I had. I was playing with D-Mac, and I totally forgot I was wearing my backpack, so everything I had in there is gone. It is all burnt. This is a new one, obviously. But yeah, so don't forget to take off your backpacks, kids. But anyway, I will see you on the next episode of Marriland's Hermitcraft Feed the Beast Adventure. See you next time. Oh yeah, doors. Oh yeah.